ଏକ विकसित देश में परिणत हो यह आम परिगणना एसएचजी दिवस तो ये जी नेक्स्ट स्लाइड को तो समस्ते एमएससीएन एसोसिएशन ऑफ ओडिशा विषय रे अल्प बहुत जानी ना ये एसोसिएशन 2018 मसीह निजर कर्मगत कर चलती आगे आसी सहित गवर्नमेंट द्वारा सरकारी द्वारा रजिस्ट्रेशन हो सारी एमएससीएन एसोसिएशन ऑफ ओडिशा तो एसोसिएशन विषय आग को बहुत सारा जाना ब्रीफली एसोसिएशन देते एसोसिएशन में मेंबर शॉर्टली कहि रखिबे कि एसोसिएशन एबे जे एक्टिवली जो सब अछि माओ मेडिकल असिस्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एमएससीएन एसोसिएशन ऑफ ओडिशा एंड देन मैनेजमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड ऑर्चर्ड जे कि एग्रीकल्चरल डिपार्टमेंट जहां भी कृषक मानन को जो मानन को द्वारा ही देश चालू से मानन को हेल्प करिया पे जो नो इनिशिएटिव से अछि मैनेजमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड ऑर्चर्ड देन मेडिकल असिस्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जे कि कोविड निडी टाइम्स तो हो कि ब्लड डोनेशन हो जे कोनसी पाई ये सब कैंप ऑर्गेनाइज करे ये प्रोग्राम देन हो मोमेंटियस एक्टिविटीज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जे कि पूरा मात्रा रे जे कोनसी एक्टिविटीज सब डे टू डे लाइफ रे हम कंडक्ट करूचे एवं बहुत सारा वेबिनार हो किबा फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज सब कंडक्ट करूचे एवं एक्सरसाइज रिसेंटली रिलीज माओ एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट जोटा कि फ्री रे कंप्यूटर शिक्षा हो किबा ये सब जिन सब परिगणित करछि तो एसोसिएशन रे भाबरे पांचटी यूनिट अच्छी जैसे कि कैपिटल यूनिट जोटा कि भुवनेश्वर सेंट्रल यूनिट जोटा कि कटक देन वेस्टर्न यूनिट जोटा कि बौद्ध बलांगीर कलाहांडी नवरंगपुर कंधमाल सुंदरगढ़ झारसुगुड़ा बरगढ़ देवगढ़ संबलपुर नुआपड़ा और सोनपुर कार्यरत अच्छी सहित गंजाम यूनिट जोटा कि गंजाम गजपति रायगड़ा कोरापुट और मालकानगिरी कार्यरत सहित नॉर्थ ओडिशा यूनिट जोटा कि भद्रक बालेश्वर मयूरभंज और केन्दुझर यही भाव में एसोसिएशन समग्र ओडिशा आम जी पर्यटन व्यापी पाइछु यार भिन्न भिन्न यूनिट निजर कार्यक्रम कर केवल कटक भुवनेश्वर कौन पर्टिकुलर प्लेस सब जिन हुए तो एसोसिएशन विषय बहुत आगे जाना अन्य शुणा नेक्स्ट स्लाइड को तो बेसी देरी नकरी जो मानक आम पाइछु आम गहन विषय सम्यक सूचना देवा जाना जहाँ पाई गर्वित आम गहन अच्छा मिस अभिप्सा कानून गो मैम जे कि डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ओडिशा रे असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर भाबे अछंती एवं से ऑलरेडी 2016 मसिया एज ए लीगल प्रोफेशनल काम करले एज एन असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर सो वेलकम यू मैम टू दिस ऑस्पिशियस webinar and this women from MSN Association of Odisha. So thanks you for joining. मैम को हमें सुनिबा आगो को मैम को एज ए वेबिनार जोटा कि लॉ विषय रे कि गोटे साधारण जनता साधारण लोकर कोन रही महत्व कि भाई भाबरे लॉ टा गोटे नेसेसरी जिनिस जे हम खाद्य वस्त्र बासगृह रहुची से भाई भाबरे लॉ कोन आ केमि जानिबाटा काहे कि निहाती दरकार गोटे यूज पे से विषय मैम हमको ब्रीफली डिस्कस करबे आगो को एवं आम गहन अछंती मिस्टर हितेश मिश्र सर जे कि आम गहन ऑलरेडी पूर्वरु अन्य वेबिनार मध्ये जॉइन करছে এবং ଆମ ପାଇଁ ଚିହ୍ନା ମୋ ଜଣେ सर आज इंडियन रेवेन्यू सर्विस ऑफिसर गुजरात रे सुराट रे अछंती এবং सर केवल आज एन आईएएस भाबे हम ताको जानिने ताको जानि से तांकर ब्लॉग्स रु जो भिन्न भिन्न कैटेगरीज को नै तांकर ब्लॉग्स थाई तांकर ब्लॉग्स रे समस्त केही ना केही जानि से सर को और पूर्वरु जे हम आलोचना करिसे सर को विषय रे तो सर को भी सुनिबा आज ये वेबिनार रे So thank you so much sir for joining Ritesh Mishra and Ms. Abhisha Kanungo. Next slide. Yeah. So already जो जगह रे आज स्वाधीनता दिवस पालन होउची obviously तो हम नेशनल एंथम बिना स्वाधीनता दिवस पालन तो होई परिबनी ऑलरेडी हम करी आसीछे तो अभी समस्त को रिक्वेस्ट करबी जे जेउठी भी खावा दयकरी के स्टैंड अप छे हेकिबा समस्त এবং আমি ন্যাশনাল অ্যানথেম প্লে করিবা যদি চাহিবা আমি সমস্ত ভিডিও রে भी আসি করিবা महसूस जो माने भी जॉइन करछिन आ जो माने एबे लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग YouTube रे जो लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग चले छी माउ तरफरु से भी बहुत सारा मेंबर्स तो एक्टिव करछन जो माने जॉइन करछन तो समस्त को अनुरोध करछि कि दया करी जोठी भी अच्छा आपना जे छिया जन खाना न्याशनल एंथेम प्ले करिबा ओके स्टार्ट जय हे भारत माता की जय वंदे मातरम। आज नेक्स्ट स्लाइड को तो महेंद्र सिंह धोनी धोनी विषय तो आम समस्त अल्प बहुत जानी बहुत समस्ते एटलिस्ट जो मैंने रही समस्त जानते विषय किसी तो ये जान रखिए कि आम इंस्पिरेशन जे महेंद्र सिंह धोनी किसी इंडियन एंथिम किसी मत रखी तो से गोटे वीडियो जरिए देखा। Thank you so much for your patience and जो मैंने हम सहित एग्री ये जॉइन करते ऑलरेडी हम सहित जो मैंने जॉइन कर साथी जॉइन भी चली यूट्यूब स्ट्रीमिंग में बहुत सारा लोग जॉइन कर तो समस्त धन्यवाद। आज ये प्रसंग में आगक आलोचना जारी रहा और आगक आमको नहीं मिस्टर आर्यन अभिषेक चलो टेक इट फॉरवर्ड। थैंक यू।
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to congratulate to all the members on the occasion of 77th Independence Day, and thank you so much to our guest for accepting my request and joining. And thank you so much to the all dedicated leaders, leading members, and others members who joined here. Already the associated Mr. Sandeep आपको shortly details कही देइछंती सो आपने एसोसिएटेड हमरो ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट जोटा अछि सेइथे डिटेल्स आपण जानि परिबे। हमरो एसोसिएशन मेनली एटा जोटा स्टार्ट हेतिला एमएस धोनी को तांको बेस करके ही एसोसिएशन हेजे तांको एडमिनर्स माने हमें एकाठी हेके एसोसिएशन टा करछु। एमएस धोनी को तो मैक्सिमम समस्त जस्ट नॉर्मल गोटे क्रिकेटर हबे तांको जानि थांती बट आम पई से जस्ट गोटे क्रिकेटर नुह से जने नेशनल हीरो कज तांकर निजर जो पर्सनालिटी एंड लीडरशिप स्किल एंड क्रिकेट को छाड़ी देके भी तांकर अलगा जहाँ भी अच्छी जहाँ भी क्वालिटी पर्सनालिटी आम तांको ही फॉलो करिकी किसी सोसाइटी गोटे किसी भल काम करने ही एसोसिएशन टा करछु। एंड मेनली सोसाइटी भल बा खराब से डिपेंड कर यूथ मान ऊपर जदि यूथ माने ताको भल वे ने देन आम सोसाइटी बा आम नेशन से भल वे जीव और जदि यूथ माने ताको खराब वे ने देन ऑब्वियसली सेटा खराब कर जीव। चिल्ड्रेन एंड ओल्ड एज पर्सन से तो एते कंट्रीब्यूशन नाही माने नेशन पई सो ओवरऑल डिपेंड कर सेटा यूथ मान ऊपर आउ आमे माने भी जो एसोसिएशन जो मेंबर्स माने अछंती से माने मैक्सिमम आमे यूथ माने ही अछु एंड स्टूडेंट्स माने मैक्सिमम 17 इयर्स टू 25 26 इयर्स पर्यंत स्टूडेंट्स माने अधिक अछंती। सो जहाँ भी हमर एक्टिविटीज हुए डिफरेंट सोशल वेलफेयर एक्टिविटीज लाइक प्लांटेशन हो बा ब्लड डोनेशन प्रोग्राम हो कि ऑर्फनेज रे जाके कुछ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करबा तो सब एक्टिविटीज आमे स्टूडेंट्स माने ही करू। एंड मेनली सबुठो मेन पॉइंट होची हमरो आउटसाइड रजिस्ट्रेशन हेतले भी आउटसाइड फंड किछि आसनी हम सेटा निज पॉकेट मनी रो ही यूज करके हमें सोच करू कच आम जदि से पॉकेट मनी टाको किछि अलगा जेंते में गुच्छु खाइ दोचे बा अलगा किछि वे भी जदि यूज करि परछे ताल ताको कंपनी भलो रीजन रे यूज न करि परिबा। आउ आमे भी जो कंट्रीब्यूशन टा जो दोउछु से जो टाइम टा सेटा जो टाइम रे नॉर्मल यूथ माने सोशल मीडिया यूज करंती जेमति फेसबुक ट्विटर बा आउ जाबे यूट्यूब वीडियो ए सब देखि जो टाइम टा से माने सेइथरे वेस्ट करंती ଆମେ ସେଇ ଟାଇମରେ ହିଁ ଆସୋସିଏସନ ୟୁଜ କରୁ ଆଉ ସେଇ ଟାଇମଟା ହିଁ ଆମେ ସୋସାଇଟି ବା ନେସନ ପାଇଁ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ କରୁ। ସେମିତି ନାହିଁ ଯେ ମାନେ ଜଣେ ଚାହିଁବ ଯଦି ସେ ନିଜ ଟାଇମ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁଟ କରିପାରିବ ସୋସାଇଟି ପାଇଁ, ଯେହେତୁ ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ସୋସାଇଟିର ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟ, ସୋ ସେଇଟା ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ମିନିମମ୍ ରେସପନ୍ସିବିଲିଟି ଆଣ୍ଡ ଡ୍ୟୁଟି ରହୁଛି ଆମେ ସୋସାଇଟି ପାଇଁ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ କରିବା ବା ଆମ ନେସନ ବା ଷ୍ଟେଟ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ କିଛି କରିବା। ବିକଜ ଆମେ ଯେହେତୁ ସୋସାଇଟିରୁ ବହୁତ କିଛି ପାଉଛୁ, ସୋ ଆମର ବି ଏଇଟା ଡ୍ୟୁଟି ଆମେ ତାକୁ ସେଇଟା ବ୍ୟାକ୍ ଦେବା। ସୋ ଆମେ ଦିନକୁ 10 ମିନିଟ୍ସ ହଉ ବା କିଛି ଟାଇମ ବି ଯଦି ଆମେ ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ରିଜନରେ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିପାରିବା, ସେଇଟା ବଡ଼ କଥା। ଆଉ ଆସୋସିଏସନ ଆମର ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ ୱେଲଫେୟାର ଏଇଟା ଏମଏସ୍ ଧୋନିକୁ ବେସ୍ କରିକି ହେଲେ ବି ଅଲଗା ଯିଏ ନାହିଁ ସେ ଏଥିରେ ଜଏନ୍ କରିପାରିବେ, ଯିଏ ବି ଚାହିଁବ ସୋସାଇଟି ପାଇଁ କିଛି କରିବା ପାଇଁ। ଆଣ୍ଡ ଓନ୍ଲି ସୋସିଆଲ ୱାର୍କ ନୁହଁ, ତା ସହିତ ଯୋଉଟା ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ ମାନଙ୍କ କ୍ୟାରିୟର ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉଟା ନେସେସରୀ ବା ଅଲଗା ଯୋଉଟା ସଷ୍ଟେନେବୁଲ ଏନଭାରନମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ ସଷ୍ଟେନେବୁଲ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ଯୋଉଟା ନେସେସରୀ, ଆମେ ସବୁକୁ ଓଭରାଲି କାଉଣ୍ଟ କରିକି ହିଁ ସେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜଟା କରୁ। ଆଉ ଆମର ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ 7ଟା ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଅଲରେଡି ସନ୍ଦୀପ କହିଛନ୍ତି। ଫାଷ୍ଟ ହେଲେ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟର ଆମର ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ ହେଇଛି ଇ ଶିକ୍ଷା ବୋଲି, ଯୋଉଟା ନିଡି ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନକୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଫ୍ରି କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର କୋର୍ସ ଦିଆଯାଏ। ଆଉ ତା ସହିତ ଅଲଗା ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ବି ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କ ନେସେସରୀ, ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ପହଞ୍ଚି ପାରୁନି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଷ୍ଟଡି ମେଟେରିଆଲ୍ସ ଦେବା। ତାପରେ ହେଲ୍ଥ କ୍ୟାମ୍ପ ଅଛି, ହେଲ୍ଥ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟର ହେଲ୍ଥ କ୍ୟାମ୍ପ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ କରିବା ବା ବ୍ଲଡ ଡୋନେସନ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ କରିବା। ଆଣ୍ଡ ୟୋଗା ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ବି ରିସେଣ୍ଟଲି ହେଇଥିଲା। ତାପରେ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚର ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଆମର ଫାର୍ମର୍ସ ମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଫର୍ଟିଲାଇଜର୍ସ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ କରିବା ଆଣ୍ଡ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଅର୍ଗାନିକ ଫାର୍ମିଂ ରିଲେଟେଡ ଆୱାରନେସ୍ ଦେବା। ବିକଜ ଫାର୍ମର୍ସ ମାନେ ହିଁ ଆମ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିର ବ୍ୟାକବୋନ। ସେଇଟା ତ ଆମେ ଅଲରେଡି ଜାଣିଛେ ସମସ୍ତେ, ଫାର୍ମର୍ସ ଆର୍ ବ୍ୟାକବୋନ ଅଫ ଆୱାର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି। ବଟ୍ ଆମେ ସେଇଟା କେହି ବି ସେତିକି ଫାର୍ମର୍ସ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏତେ ରେସପେକ୍ଟ ସେତିକି ବି ଆମେ ଦଉନେ। ସମସ୍ତେ ସବୁ କଥା ଜାଣିକି ବି ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ ଫାର୍ମର୍ସଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ସେତିକି ଫ୍ୟାସିଲିଟିସ୍ ପହଞ୍ଚି ପାରୁନି। ତ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଫାର୍ମର୍ସ ମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟେପ୍ସଟା ନେଇଛୁ। ଦେନ୍ ଆସୁଛି ସ୍ପୋର୍ଟସ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମେ ଯେହେତୁ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ପୋର୍ଟସ ପର୍ସନାଲିଟିକୁ ଫଲୋ କରିକି ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନଟା କରୁଛୁ। ସ୍ପୋର୍ଟସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଫିଜିକାଲ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ ବି ସବୁ ପର୍ସନ୍ସ ପାଇଁ ନେସେସରୀ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଇନଡୋର ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆଉଟଡୋର ଗେମ୍ ସ୍ପୋର୍ଟସ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ ହୁଏ। ଆଣ୍ଡ ସ୍ପୋର୍ଟସ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ଆମେ ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ ସାଇକେଲ ରାଇଡ୍ ଗୋଟେ ହେଇଥିଲା କଟକ ଟୁ ପୁରୀ, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଗୋ ଗ୍ରୀନକୁ ପ୍ରମୋଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଗୋଟେ ଆୱାରନେସ୍ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ। ଦେନ୍ ଆସିଲା କୋ କରିକୁଲାର ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ। କୋ କରିକୁଲାର ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ କଲଚରାଲ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ, ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସ, ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ, ଆଉ ଯଦି କାହା ପାଖରେ କିଛି ସ୍କିଲ୍ ଥିବ ସେଇଟା ଶୋ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସେଇ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟରେ ଆମେ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ କରୁ। ଆଣ୍ଡ ଲାଷ୍ଟଲି ରହୁଛି ଭର୍ଚୁଆଲ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଏବେ ଆମେ ଯେମିତି ୱେବିନାର କରୁଛେ, ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଏଜୁକେସନାଲ ୱେବିନାର ହଉ ବା ମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ହେଲ୍ଥ ପାଇଁ ୱେବିନାର କରିବା ହଉ, ଆଉ ବା ଅନଲାଇନରେ କିଛି କୁଇଜ୍ କମ୍ପିଟିସନ ବା ଅଲଗା କିଛି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ କରିବା ହଉ, ସେଇଟା ଭର୍ଚୁଆଲ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ କରୁ। ଆଉ ଆମର ସବୁ ତ ଯାହା ବି ସବୁ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ ହଉଛି, ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟରେ ବ୍ରାଞ୍ଚ ଅଫିସ୍ ଅଛି, ସେଇଠି ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ ହୁଏ। ତ ତା ସହିତ ଆମର କିଛି ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ୍ ତ ଅଲରେଡି ନିଆଯାଇଛି, ମାନେ ସୋସାଇଟି ପାଇଁ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେମିତି ଇ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଗୋଟେ ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ୍ ନିଆଯାଇଛି, ଗୋ ଗ୍ରୀନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ରେଗୁଲାର ହେଲ୍ଥ କ୍ୟାମ୍ପ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଲିଭିଂ ମେଡିକାଲ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ବୋଲି ଗୋଟେ ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ୍ ନେଇଛି। ସୋ ଆମେ ଆଜି 15 ଅଗଷ୍ଟରେ ଗୋଟେ ନୂଆ ଆନାଉନ୍ସମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛୁ, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର ନୂଆ ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ୍ ଗୋଟେ ହେଇଛି। ସେ ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ୍ ନେମ୍ ରହୁଛି ଦ ଗିଫ୍ଟ ଅଫ ହାପିନେସ୍। ସେ ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ୍ର ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ୍ ରହୁଛି, ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ବର୍ଥଡେ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ କରୁଛେ ବା କିଛି ବି ଆମ ନିଜର ସ୍ପେଶାଲ ଡେ କିଛି ଯଦି ଆମେ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ କରୁଛେ, ତ ସମସ୍ତେ ଚାହାନ୍ତି ଯେ ହଁ ଆଟଲିଷ୍ଟ ବର୍ଷକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ମୋ ବର୍ଥଡେରେ ବା ନିଜର କିଛି ସ୍ପେଶାଲ ଡେ ଯୋଉ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ କରିବି, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ କାମ କରିକି ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ କରିବି। ବଟ୍ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ସେତିକି ଆଇଦର କାହା ପାଖରେ ଟାଇମ୍ ନଥାଏ, ଅର୍ କିଏ ଯାଇକି ଫିଜିକାଲି ସେଠିକି ଯାଇକି ବି ସେମାନେ ପହଞ୍ଚି ପାରନ୍ତିନି। ସୋ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଇନିସିଏଟିଭ୍ଟା ନେଇଛୁ, ଏଥିରେ ଆପଣମାନେ ଆମ ଆସୋସିଏସନ ଥ୍ରୁରେ ସେ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ କରିପାରିବେ। ଯଦି କିଏ ନିଜ ବର୍ଥଡେ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, ସେ ଆମ ଅଫିସିଆଲ ୱେବସାଇଟକୁ ଯାଇକି ସେଠି ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ରିଜନ ପାଇଁ ଆପଣ ଡୋନେଟ୍ କରିପାରିବେ। ଲାଇକ୍ ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଫୁଡ ଡୋନେସନ ଫୁଡ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ କି ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, ବା ଏଜୁକେସନ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, ବା ଗୋ ସେବା ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ କରିକି ସେମିତି କିଛି କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, ବା ନିଜ ନେମ୍ରେ ପ୍ଲାଣ୍ଟ ଲଗେଇକି ସେମିତି କିଛି ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, ତ ସେଇ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ଟା ଆମ ଭଲ୍ୟୁଣ୍ଟର୍ସ ମେମ୍ବର୍ସ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେଇଟା ସେ କରିଦେବେ। ତା ସହିତ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ନେମ୍ରେ ବି ହାପି ବର୍ଥଡେର ଆପଣଙ୍କ ନେମ୍ ରଖିକି ହିଁ ସେଇ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ଟା ହବ। ଆଉ ଲାଷ୍ଟଲି ଆମେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ସେଇ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ ଫଟୋ ଯାହା ବି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ହେଇଥିଲା ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ରିଜିନ୍ ପାଇଁ ଦେଇଥିଲେ ସେ ସବୁ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ ଫଟୋ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ନେମ୍ରେ ରହିକି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ମେଲ୍ କରିଦିଆଯିବ। ସେଇଟା ଆମର ଅଫିସିଆଲ ୱେବସାଇଟ୍ରେ ଆପଣ ଯାଇକି ଡୋନେଟ୍ କରିପାରିବେ ବା ଭିଜିଟ୍ କରିକି ଆପଣ ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ଜାଣିପାରିବେ କେମିତି କ'ଣ କରିବେ। ସେଥିରେ ବି କଣ୍ଟାକ୍ଟ ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ଅଛି। ମୁଁ ଜଣେ ମେମ୍ବର୍ସକୁ ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟ କରିବି କି ଜଣେ ଚାଟ୍ ବକ୍ସରେ ଅଫିସିଆଲ ୱେବସାଇଟ୍ଟା କାଇଣ୍ଡଲି ସେୟାର କରିଦିଅ ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଯିଏ ଚାହିଁବ ସେ ସେଇଟା ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ଜାଣିବେ ସେଠିକି ଯାଇପାରିବ। Once again, thank you all of you. Jai Hind.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and wishing you all a very happy Independence Day. Uh, so, I wanted Mr. Mishra to please do the honors and start. Has he joined yet?
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, sirଙ୍କର health issue.
Okay. That's okay. So, speaking about Independence Day, I mean, it's the 77th year and coming along a long way, like striving from, to the fight of, to the struggle of independence till taking our decisions individually today. We have come along, it was a very long journey, I would say. So, my important part is law. So, I would say today India has inspired the entire globe around to become legally sound, and I think laws related pertaining to human dignity, like someone was saying right now. I just I am just missing out on the name. The farmers are not being respected, the children are not being given, they are not reached at the first stage to be given education. So in that perspective, I would say we have come along a long way. I do not remember if my great grandparents had the opportunity of education, but right now I am holding a master's degree, being a woman, girl child, I would say. So, are there women on the webinar also? Yes, I can see few. So I would say that we have come along a long way to be socially and morally independent from our conscience. And yes, there is I would say that there's a long way again to walk from social stigma and the integrity upon which we do not hold at times. As I was saying, the farmers are not being respected. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of section of people who are not being respected, who are not given the dignity, and they do not have the integrity to live on their lives. So it is our accountability to give them the situation, the environment to be human lives at least. So this is my take for the younger generation today. You are the youth, and as it is said by a lot of people that youth is the future of this country, and you definitely are going to make a difference on that. So it is very important for you to be respectful, to have your moral compass. As a human, you should have your moral compass not broken inside you. This is my advice to the coming generation. So we can move on with the rest of the schedule things. This will be my take, and thank you so much for making me a part of this webinar. And also, I feel this organization has been doing a lot of work, particularly when we are all busy. I mean, to be honest, we are all busy with our lives. We do not think of the social culture or the environment that is going on, and we lead on to our personal, I would say, selfish motives. So, thinking apart from your selfish motives and doing something, at least something for someone, is a divine job in today's world. So, I would congratulate all the leaders of MSDNs and thank you for at least thinking about the society, which we generally, honestly saying, we generally miss on doing on that. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sandeep. So, starting about the fundamental rights of the Constitution, uh, back in 1950, when the Constitution was adopted, so we had borrowed it from the American Constitution. So, generally, the fundamental rights is in Chapter 3, and it is called as the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta, I think none of you must have heard of it. So, the Magna Carta happens to be the first ever document relating to the fundamental rights of the citizens, and it was back in 1215 when the English king had approved to accede to many rights to his subjects. So it was a British, like we have the fundamental rights in Chapter 3. The Magna Carta was a self-sufficient document containing all the fundamental rights. So after that, there was a Bill of Rights, which was written consolidating all important rights and liberties of the English people, and then there was Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen in the year 1979 by the I think it was by France. So by the time Indian constitution was being framed, the makers drew heavy inspiration from the American Bill of Rights, and they incorporated it in our constitution. The constitution, being the highest law of the land, has given us certain basic human dignified rights. So I hope all of you are very well versed with the preamble. Yes, no, anyone? Yeah, it's not required, but it's not required right now. But I want everyone, like whenever I am a public law, I was a lawyer in public law, so it is, I think it is basic of every citizen to know about their rights and the preamble of our constitution. It is a beautiful document, and it gives you the basic necessity, like roti kapda makan is generally called as the basic necessity, but is that all we can suffice to live with? No, we all need respect, we need integrity, we need dignity, and there should be equality, right? So the concept of right to equality is something we say a lot of times. I think many of us in our day-to-day lives use this word, that I have a right of equality. Where is this right of equality deriving from? It is from the preamble. So I would again suggest everyone, and everyone around you, you should suggest people knowing their preamble. The preamble is the beautiful document that I have ever seen in this country, which is actually a government statute. So all of you, I just want all of you to go back and be truthful towards yourself in knowing the preamble, because that is the beauty of the Indian constitution. And coming again to the fundamental rights, the fundamental rights are something. It was in an English case, Justice Jackson had said that the fundamental rights are placed in the constitution. In the Indian context, I would say it is placed in the Indian constitution so that there is no arbitrariness of the government. The government tomorrow does not gets up and saying we live in a democratic country. So in a democratic country, it is a two-way situation. So we are giving the sovereignty. We do not have external control over us, and democracy is again, I would say, a supplement to sovereignty, saying that we elect our own government. So the government should not be arbitrary in doing something that is taking away our basic need. In today's time, remember the fact that your fundamental rights are the basic needs to live your life at the first case, and then I would say luxury comes secondary, but it is basic to live your lives. So in that particular case, it was said that the fundamental rights are given a transcendent position, because it should be away from the reach of executive action. It should be away from the reach of political action. It should be justified. So, who gives you this fundamental right? I just want all of you to know that there is no fundamental right which can be claimed from a private party. So, it is always you claim your fundamental rights. It is secured by the government itself. Government being, it might be the we are. I'm not speaking about a specific government. It might be a state government, and it might be the union government. So again, the government is a very big structure. To know who is government and who is not is again, it is going into the technicalities of law, so I would avoid that at this stage. So there are six basic fundamental rights that are being guaranteed to us under six heads, I would say, not six rights, but under six heads they are being given to us. So the first one is the right to equality. So I hope everyone is well versed with the concept of right to equality. I want this to be an interactive session, please. Yes. So, do you like? Is it a negative concept, or you would call it a positive concept? I would like to know that. So, okay. So, many of us are not well versed with it. So, the right to equality in Article 14, it says that equal protection of the law, which is a positive concept, and equality before the law is a negative concept. Equality before the law means there is no special privilege allowed to any person, right? I am not talking about the reservation of women, SC, That is again a constitutional right. So equality is the right to be sued and right to sue. Tomorrow, if a public official is doing something in personal capacity, if he is doing it in public capacity, it is well and okay because he has been assigned the duty. But what if a politician, let's take an example, a politician has been harassing you by occupying your land unauthorizedly. So you have the laws, you have the courts open for you. So the if he is doing the act in his personal space, you cannot the he cannot deny the fact that I am a public official and you cannot challenge me. So that is what you need to understand from right to equality. The very important part which all of us fail to understand is the right to sue and right to be sued. So he has a right, he can be sued at the court of law, and he you can sue. But remember, it does not, right to equality is always actually it is against the government official, but however he should not be doing it in the capacity of his public duties, right? And it is supplemented by some reservation, because there were some sections of the society which were ignored, which did not have which weren't prosperous enough like the others. So they have to be mainstreamed till a certain time. That was the intent of the makers of the constitution, that they have to be like some years must be given, some relaxation must be given, so that they are mainstream and we can go one on one in a single row. So that is the idea of reservation. I know a lot of people, a lot of us complain against reservation, but no, it is not like that. There is nothing arbitrary going here, and it is just that bringing people on the same note. Reservation is the concept. So moving on to it, the right to equality, and the next comes the right to freedom. So uh, have you heard of the cases of the transgenders? Anyone? Not. The transgenders, the Enoch, what you call is hijras. No. Okay. Okay. So right now,
Yes, ma'am.
whenever okay, good, Kalyani. So, just conquer with a yes or no. So, today, when you fill up any government forms, or even when you go to the private sectors, you see, uh, otherwise it was always male and female, or I think yes, it was male or female. So you had two boxes, but we know there exists a third gender also. They did not have the right to express themselves. So right to expression is a very high, it's a very big article under the Indian Constitution, which I think gives enough ample space to live you a dignified life. So right now there is, you see, there is male, female, and others, where the right to, when the right then the hinjaras or the transgenders can express themselves that no, I am not a man, I'm not a woman, but I'm of a third generation, and that has been recognized. So and also, the next time, I would also want you, all of you, to spread the message. The next time you see a hijra, do not mock them, at least, because it is live and let live. So, not being a woman, I would say that, but women were always suppressed, but right now we see them flourishing in every field. So giving a chance to the hijras is also a very, I would say, it is taking us towards a way of progression. So, this was right to freedom, where you can express yourself, where you go to the right to press. The press has a right, it is called as the fourth pillar of the Constitution. Where does the press get its right from? It is from Article 19. So, however, like no right is absolute, you cannot. Go against the government to actually, there should be some reasonable restriction, which is again there in the Constitution. But however, we should not go vague and put baseless allegations on the government. So it is a very, I would say, it gives ample scope of both Article 19 and Article 21 are, I would say, Article 32 is the heart and soul of the Constitution, but they are also superseded by 19 and 21. If you remove Article 21 of the Constitution, I think there is barely anything left. On a holiday, I would ask, how many of you would like to know that is right to sleep recognized or not? You can just raise up your hands. Just one? Okay, two. What if I tell you there is a right to sleep in the Indian Constitution? Is it? I think it sounds very new for all of you, but there was a case when uh, this Ramlila Maidan case, where a group of people led by this Ramdev Baba was sleeping, and the police lathi charged them. So, in that case, the Supreme Court held that under Article 21, which gives us the basic right to have food, house. There is so many programs running by the current government of Odisha, I would say, like Ahar. You see meals in 5 rupees available near the bus stop, near the medical, or any public place you see. That is just to secure you the basic right. No one dies out of hunger. No one goes to sleep out of hunger. So the government, out of the in the context of Odisha, I will say the government is sparing funds from Chief Minister Relief Fund and is giving a hefty amount to secure food to its people so that they do not die out of hunger. Same thing goes for houses. There are various schemes running by the national and the regional government, which is looking after your house, and there's a lot. Article 21 puts all 19 and 21 puts all your life status, your integrity, your dignity inside it. So I think next anyone who would like to more on article 21 or 19, you can approach me anytime on a free day, on a Sunday or Saturday, and I can go on and on. This is just a time limited webinar, so I will not go into a lot. So next comes is right against exploitation. Against exploitation, I would say all of us know that our constitution bans human trafficking and also child labor. So, child labor till the age of 14, no child is allowed to work in factories. Particularly the one, not particularly, but child labor is something which should be discouraged. Also, while getting domestic helps, do not entertain them. Not, you, if you think that it is out of poverty, you can go on and be generous to help that person, but do not keep that person in work, because you know uh, childhood is something that never comes back. I think none of the phases come back, but childhood is the most lovable part of our lives, so it should not go vague. And that is what is protecting the our constitution is protecting. And also human trafficking for any of the illegal acts. Tomorrow no one can put me to some trafficking area, because I have a fundamental right. So I hope all of you are aware of the traffic scams that are running current day in the current times. Be updated with the newspaper, and you can also, as a amicus curiae, you can raise up your voice and stand against that. A lot of women are being subject to human trafficking, and also I see men these days in the problem. So that was against right to exploitation. And one more thing I would like to know, or I would want all of you to know, that if a police arrests you for anything, for a cognizable offense, so you are supposed to be produced before the nearest magistrate within the 24 hours of your arrest, right? So that is not compromisable. He needs to arrest, because sometimes the police acts are very arbitrary. So the magistrate, who is a judicious person, must make notice that you have been arrested. Whether you should be given judicial bail or not, it is the magistrate call. But however, he should make a note that the police has arrested you and has your custody. So it is very important to, for all of you actually. It's not whether you are a law knowing person or not. These are your basic fundamental rights, and you should be very, very knowledgeable about your fundamental rights. The next comes is the freedom of religion and cultural and educational rights under different heads. So you in India, we are free to profess any religion, any profession of our own choice. Tomorrow no one can, my father cannot ask me that why are you a lawyer and why not a doctor. So it is my own choice. This again comes under Article 19, that is the freedom of expression. That I want to be a lawyer, so am I. It is not any social stigma that is barring me to become a lawyer or making me a choice of becoming a doctor or an engineer. It's not pertinent to only women. Please do not think I'm a woman centric person, but I was just giving an example. And sixthly is coming the fundamental is a it is called as the heart and soul of chapter 3, that is the constitutional remedies. So the constitution has given us a lot of rights, but how do we approach for that rights? So in that context, it was the supreme court, the honorable apex court. You can approach to it whenever a fundamental right is violated. Under Article 32, you can approach the Supreme Court for directions. There are certain directions. I think it is not mandatory for you in going to those technicalities, but the Supreme Court, you can make a prayer before the Supreme Court that such and such right of me has been violated, and it is always, your rights are always to be claimed against the government, not any private person. For any private person, there are several ordinary laws that deals with it, but when it is a constitutional law, it is mandatorily, it is to be claimed by to on against the government. And this is what as I was saying, the whenever your rights are violated, you can go to the Supreme Court for five sort of directions, that is habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and cure warranto. And they mean very different. The words might sound very like jargons to you, but I am open to anyone any day to come get yourselves cleared on this. So this is it. And also you can approach the other constitutional rights and fundamental rights whenever it is violated. You can go to the High Court under Article 226. Now there are I want all of you to know that there is a difference between constitutional right and fundamental rights. When a fundamental right is violated, you can go both to High Court and Supreme Court. But when a constitutional right is violated, you cannot go directly to the Supreme Court. You have to move to the High Court first. So, what are your constitutional rights? So, does anyone knows the difference here? I guess no. So, for example, the right to property. The right to property is something we understand very easily. Earlier, it was a fundamental right, but however, it is not right now. It is just your constitutional right. So, hope this gets me to the end of the fundamental rights section, and there can be a lot I think a common man should know about laws. We can have a different session someday on this and get all of us cleared regarding the same. Since it's a time bound webinar, I will wind up here. And thank you so much, all of you, for listening patiently. And I would also congratulate the prize winners. I hope they are here. Okay, congratulations to all of you and wishing you all a very happy Independence Day once again. Do cherish your nation, your rights, and also follow your fundamental duties. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely. Mhm. Yes, yes. Definitely. I have a free hand from my end to all of you and also to the organization. You're much welcome.